And welcome back to Blackpool for the 888.com World Championships of 2004, where things are really hotting up here at the Hilton Hotel as we're about to get our second semi-final of this £25,000 event underway. One man already through to the final. Who will be joining him? Well, joining me for this one is England captain Lee Kendall. Is it going to be Darren Appleton or Brian Halcrow, Lee?
Well, Darren's a big favourite in the match through his experience on the TV. It's probably going to be a Mick and Darren final if I had to put money on it.
Really? You're that convinced?
I'm not. I mean, Brian can win, but Darren's experience should help him.
Darren's victory over Quinton Han, it meant so much to him, didn't it? He was so emotional.
Yeah, he's pumped up. I mean, Darren really wants to win the world title. You can see it in his eyes.
Absolutely. I mentioned one man is already safely through to the final. It is this man, Mick Hill. Demolished Jason Twist, two-time world champion, 10-3. And now waits to see whether he'll be playing his good friend Darren Appleton or the buzzer Brian Halcrow. Appleton has been very impressive in his route through to the final. Many people have tipped him from the off, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he has had a tough tournament. He's beat Mark Selby 8-0, which was a hard match for him. Then Ronan McCarthy was a good player. Then Quinton Han 9-6, so it hasn't been an easy pass for him, but he has played very well.
He's up against Brian Halcrow. Sometimes, when you're a strong favourite, like Appleton is, that can go against you. Because you look at Halcrow's results, they've been impressive.
Yeah, he's not been tested yet. He's, I mean, he had an 8-6 in the last 16, but he was well up in that match and he let a couple slip. But he is going to enjoy this match, I'm sure he will.
Let's not forget what he did to Superville, the first man ever to record a whitewash on television in the World Championships. That's no mean feat.
No, he's played very well and he deserves his place in the semi-final.
So the buzzer needs to get off to a good start, basically.
That is a big part for him. If he can get off to a good start, put Darren under pressure, then he could be into the semi-final.
OK, was the first man to 10 this for a place in the final. Let's join Alan Hughes.
Thank you, Mark. And the first one of the game's nice guys capable of winning anything, and the man they call Buzzer had an emphatic quarter-final win to give him his big chance today. His opponent, who has won everything the game has offered except the world title, and Mr. Dynamite turned in a terrific performance against Quinton Han to gain his first ever world semi-final place. Can I ask you to welcome together, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Halcrow and Darren Appleton.
We're into the second semi-final here in Blackpool. Brian Halcrow versus Darren Appleton. The customary handshake, and it's going to be
First
Appleton to break us
Darren
off.
Appleton to break.
And this man had an emphatic victory in his quarter-final against Quinton Han from Australia. Looked very determined throughout that match. And he's got a big break as Appleton. And joining me in the commentary box, the man that won this title last year. He's not going to be able to win it this year. But Chris Melling.
Yellow ball spotted.
And you do fancy Darren Appleton to win this game, don't you?
Well, I fancy Darren to win the title, to be honest. I mean, he's had a tough draw
Yellow ball's in
playing
play.
Mark Selby and then Ronan McCarthy. Played very well against Quinton. Quinton put him under a lot of pressure, and Darren replied, breaking and clearing in the remaining last few frames.
Well, in his quarter-final, I had to be very impressed with the way he handled himself, Darren Appleton. And tried to put him under all sorts of pressure. Played the mind games with him. But Appleton came out on top, beating Han by 9 frames to 6. And Halcrow, he had the easy route. He beat Cedric Zuberville from France in the quarterfinals by 9 frames to 0, so he's not really been pushed. But Appleton, you feel, is going to give him more than a stern test. He's looking very positive indeed, even in just his first frame. And the yellows looking like they're just all ready to go into the pockets. Nothing in his way here.
Well, he can't ask for a better start than this. He's brought the balls well. The yellows have come out quite nice. It's all you can ask for when you first start a match is get your hand on the table, get used to the conditions. And Darren looks as though he's settled in very well.
Well, just going to drop this in dead weight now into this bottom corner. And now he's got the simple task of getting rid of this last yellow, and the black will go in the opposite corner. And already Halcrow's going to be in uncharted waters. These TV matches, simple black. Down it goes, and Appleton comes out like a steam train. He leads Halcrow by 1 frame to 0.
And Halcrow to break, trailing 1 frame to 0.
Well, it's Halcrow breaking off now in the second frame. Already seen the first one fly past him. The break and finish from Appleton. Could do with the ball, Halcrow. And nothing
Open table.
has gone off that break. But just look at the split, Chris.
Good break there, a little unfortunate not to pot a ball off the break, but reds and yellows are both situated nice. I think we'll see Darren take the reds here.
Well, we're looking at that break once again. And Halcrow needs to get his hand on that table. Reds and yellows are both completely wide open. Just look at the determination on Darren Appleton's face. You can sense that this year's his best chance to land this world title. He'll be wanting to join
Yellow balls in play.
Mick Hill in this year's final match. And Appleton and Hill are the best of friends. Well, the form, like I said before, that Appleton's been in this tournament, he's incredible. Played with him a couple of months ago. I played him in an international tour event, and he was playing pretty good there, but he said he wasn't on top form. But gradually building up to this World Championships, he's got better and better, and he feels that he's right at his peak just now.
Well, both players are virtually winning everything they enter at the minute. Last 6 to 8 months have been unbelievable. So consistent, always in the semis, the final, and winning the tournaments.
Stretching over very close to that yellow ball, but he's okay. And he's played that perfectly now, Appleton. Pop this yellow in the centre, screw the white back for the yellow in the top left-hand corner. The black's easy. Just going to screw back about 4 or 5 inches here. Well, Appleton now just got to bring the cue ball off his side rail. And this is absolutely awesome from Appleton. Down goes the black frame. And again, Appleton's going back to his chair with another one on his side of the board. He leads Halcrow 2 frames to 0. Frame number 3. It's a race to 10 in his second semi-final. This year's 888.com World Pool Championships. Not such a great split there from Appleton. And he points at the pack.
Table.
He's not happy. Well, Brian Halcrow gets his first taste of what it's like to be in a world semi-final. He can get his hand on the cloth now and have a good look. But Chris, there's nothing really open there, is there?
No, Darren didn't break the balls too well there. He didn't catch the pack full in the face, and the white slid round to where it is there. But Brian will just be looking to play a containing shot here, I think. Just stick the red back into the pack.
Open table.
Well, Halcrow didn't fancy anything there. So he's chucked the ball back into Appleton's court.
I think he's give Darren quite an half chance here. He can pop the red in the centre bag. He's got 2 reds, one above the black and one below the black, that both pot. He could end up potting this and splitting the pack out.
Well, he's fortunate he took on the yellow. He's
Open
missed
table.
that by a fair distance. Well, Halcrow fancies the red balls. Electing to play the more awkward one first up. Oh, and he's missed it.
Open table.
And Darren Appleton comes to the table. He's still got a choice of colour. It's got to be reds, Chris, now, surely.
That's right, we'll probably see Darren pop the red in the centre pocket. think we could see Darren go for a clearance here. He won't want to be moving the red over the top left-hand corner till
Red
last.
ball's in play.
Well, he might even try and split these balls open on this shot. And he did have a little go, but the cue ball just slid by the black ball. Just wanted to burst them open. Always got that security in the top left-hand corner. You can still have a go at these. You can see there's a yellow stuck behind it up there.
Yellow
Good shot
ball's
there
in
from
play.
Appleton. Just developing his reds and also kicking that yellow away from that bottom left-hand corner.
Yes, he's got the handcuffs on in this frame. Brian will struggle to win this. Too many yellows that are tied up, and he hasn't really got a first shot.
Try and double the yellow back towards where his hand is. No, he's trying to put it in. Well, he's done nothing there, Chris.
Well, I think he's just tried to tie the black and the red up in the same shot, Brian. But there's no real value in that shot. For me, he had to bring the 3 yellows out on the side cushion.
Well, Appleton decided not to go for the finish. Doesn't have to. If you look at the position of all those yellows, like you said, Chris, is that little bunch all glued together on the left-hand rail, and there's also one at the top that's been protected by Appleton's red, and now he's doing what you said, Chris. He's going to have to bump these yellows out. And again, that's not improved his situation at all. You just feel Appleton's got to attack now, surely, Chris?
Well, you'd say he's got to play the plant on the red. He's just got to be careful where the black ball goes. Landed pretty good there. Could see Darren actually play another plant into the top left-hand corner, knocking Brian's yellow towards the right-hand cushion.
Well, he's contemplating on taking the red down at the bottom of the table, but I think your shot will be the better one. He's going to play the plant now, but needs to get the cue ball just away from that black a bit so he can take that loose red into the top right-hand corner after this plant.
Sometimes when the balls are situated like this, they go in virtually every pocket. You get confused because they are that easy to clear up that you don't know which order to take the balls in.
The only thing he's done there, maybe a little bit of awkward cueing over the black ball, because I'm sure he wants to take the loose red into the top right-hand corner. Might be just to cue at the side of it a bit.
Well, that's why I thought he'd take the plant earlier before he put the red over the corner.
Having said that, the way he cued that didn't matter. Very solid. And Appleton is showing no nerves at all. You think it might be easy for Appleton to get complacent in the semi-final after beating Quinton Han in the quarter-finals? There's no sign of that here. In goes the black, and Appleton charges into a 3-0 lead. Halcrow does so need to get in amongst the balls and get us frame on his side of the scoreboard, but it's Appleton breaking off in frame 5. He's not made a ball.
Open table.
You see Appleton trudges back around the table in disgust. Sometimes he almost thinks he's got a divine right to have a ball on what seems to be his match table. Must feel like he's playing in his living room.
Well, I do know Darren's been putting a lot of hard work into his game, been practicing at his local club.
30 seconds.
and I think he's actually been practicing with Mick quite a lot, so would be interesting if Darren happened to win this game.
Red ball's in play.
Well, Halcrow's got on the red at the top there. It will go into that top left-hand corner. And the balls are very open here, and a chance for Brian.
Very risky shot there, what Brian played. If he actually kissed the red, the white would have gone in off in the top right-hand corner. He's been very fortunate to land on the red there.
Well, Halcrow. This is the only red he can actually pot, so he's got to attempt it. He's found that one into the pocket. You just feel that Halcrow must take these type of chances. He let the last frame slip. He's still got the shirt with his son's names on the cuffs. There's Jordan, that's his youngest. And there he is with his Newcastle United shirt on. His other son's obviously Joel. Anyway, he's left himself a nice angle to come down the table. Well, has he landed a bit straight?
Well, that's a terrible shot there by Brian if he has landed straight. I think he's got a slight angle to stun the white up, or he could roll the white through and play the black in the top left-hand corner pocket.
Well, there you are, Chris. Not a lot of angle. He looks like he's going to be trying to punch it off the rail. No, he's gone for the long black into the top left-hand corner.
Well, it's such a bad shot to land where he did. All he had to do was land half ball on the red, and he's landed dead straight.
Well, he won't be hitting this at any pace. And if he gets it near the pocket, it should drop in. And that black ball is in as Halcrow sets off back to his chair. Gets his first one on the board. And he trails Appleton by 4 frames to 1.
To break, trailing 4 frames to 1.
He's got his first one on the board. Halcrow breaking off now, frame 6. And Chris Melling, he needs to get the breaks, the balls down off the break now, doesn't he?
Well, he needs to start breaking and clearing, does Brian. I think he's made a red top right corner, and the reds are split quite well. And he does need to win this frame now, because if you feel if he goes 5-1 behind, then Darren's going to run away with the match.
Well, red balls look the order of the day. Going to play the red below the black first and get that one out the road.
I think he could actually take yellows, because all the yellows actually go.
30 seconds.
He doesn't need to cannon into anything.
Yellow ball's nominated.
Well, he's going to try and get up on his awkward one first. He's got to be a little bit careful with the cue ball. Has he played it hard enough?
Foul. 2 visits.
And
Open
neither
table.
ball hit
Time
a
running.
cushion. Now, in World Rules pool, if you don't pot a ball and the ball does fail to strike a cushion, it's 2 visits. Now, Appleton comes to the table, he can take yellows, and he has a shot in hand as well.
Well, this is 5-1, Tony. No doubt about it, this is 5-1. It's such a bad shot not to reach the pocket, because he can play the white off the top cushion.
Time running.
Well, if the yellow had dropped, it would have been okay, but being as it didn't go in, didn't hit a cushion, nor cue ball or yellow,
Yellow ball's in play.
that's given the foul to Appleton. Well, Appleton would knock these in with his eyes shut with 1 visit, never mind 2. And this has got to really hurt Halcrow. It could have been him potting these yellows now, but instead it's his opponent, Darren Appleton from Pontefract in Yorkshire.
Time out. Time running.
There's Melvin Harley, our referee for this semi-final. Just handing Darren Appleton the rest. There you see Appleton not having any fuss with that. Played it very well. And this is just formality stuff now for Darren Appleton. And Halcrow,
Time out.
we're thinking it could have been him.
Time running.
And he's got the rest out again. Obviously enjoyed playing the last shot with it. Enjoyed it so much he'll have another go. Just going to tap this yellow into the centre. He's got an easy black now into the corner. Still has a visit in hand, but he's not going to use it. In it goes, and Appleton now storms into a 5-1 lead.
5 frames to 1.
Well, Appleton breaking off now. Frame 7. And Appleton is threatening to run away with this semi-final.
Open table.
Well, he's not made a ball. Reds look the colour of choice.
Well, I don't think Brian can complain about the chances he's had. He has had chances in this match. He just hasn't taken them. I think we'll probably see Brian take the red in the centre pocket here. It's just a matter of landing on another red after this shot.
Well, he could drop this into the middle slowly, Chris, and he'll always have that red at the bottom of the table to fall back on.
30 seconds.
He's going to pump this in. Try and drag the cue ball back into the middle of the table for the 4 reds. And he's missed again, and it's another fatal error from
Open
Halcrow.
table.
He cannot believe what's happening out there. Well, as Halcrow plays this shot, he might as well just announce to the crowd, welcome to my nightmare. And again, not only
Red ball's in play.
by not potting the red, again he's left an open table to Darren Appleton, so he's come in, took the ball of choice.
Well, this is 7-1. Or it could even be 6-1. Darren won't miss the balls from here.
Well, it's almost as if Halcrow's come out after his quarter-final against Suberville, and he's come out with his Suberville mask on. So he's gifting frames to Appleton, just the same as the Frenchman was gifting frames to him in the quarters. And this is not the man you want to be giving these sort of chances to.
Well, the only way to beat Darren, in my opinion, is get in front of him early. Don't give him a chance. Don't let him get to the table. And that's the only way you can beat him, really, because once he gets in front, it's so hard to hold back.
I know it's looking a bit of a mismatch though at the moment. It's like Halcrow's Little Red Riding Hood against the big bad wolf Appleton. And that's a great shot there from Appleton. He's just got to control the cue ball here, Chris. It's not formality, is it?
I'm a little bit surprised he played that shot there, Tony. He could have just played the white straight down the centre of the table, taken the red in the left-hand corner, and then the other red in the left-hand corner.
Yeah, now you see he's looking to try and guide the cue ball down and just bump into the red, or is he just going to drop this in dead weight and play the thin cut? He is. I think he's gone a bit further than he liked. And like you said, Chris, this could have been avoided, couldn't it?
Well, it could have been avoided. It's just bad shot selection, really. He landed a few inches short. I think we'll see him try and cannon the yellow here after potting this.
He's going for the bacon slicer in the corner, and he's got it. But where's he landed?
And that's why he should have played to cannon the yellow.
I don't think that black goes, Chris.
Well, the white was always going over that side of the tail. I think he did try and cannon the yellow. I think he just caught the red a bit thin.
Darren Appleton. He's gone for the cut back in the corner. What a great shot from Appleton. Brilliant stuff from the Yorkshireman. And now he leads by 6 frames to 1 against Halcrow.
Brian Halcrow to break, trailing 6 frames to 1.
Well, Brian Halcrow now, I'm sure he's feeling this semi-final is slipping away from him. He should have won the last 2 frames. Instead he's given them to Appleton. He's made a ball off the break. Potted a yellow.
Yellow ball's potted.
What's he been left with?
Well, if he's to stand any chance of a revival in this match, he has to start clearing up from his own breaks. I think we'll see Brian take the yellows here. There's only 1 or 2 awkward yellows, but he can work round them.
Yours. Yellow ball's in play.
Well, there you hear the referee, Melvin Harley, letting us know Brian Halcrow's choice of colour, which is yellows. And Beaner's already once departed to the pocket from the break. He's automatically on them.
But we'll see Brian try and land on the yellow below the black into the left-hand side pocket. And again, that is a nothing shot, really. He needed to land on the 2 yellows at the bottom of the table near the black. There are his 2 most awkward balls, and he's landed in no man's land.
Well, Halcrow now looking very edgy, starting to look for problems. You can see the contrast in styles. Appleton very smooth and quick round the table. Halcrow seems to be dragging his heels a bit. Played a good shot there though, Halcrow. This plant was not set, it had to be made.
I think Brian will be looking to land high on the yellow.
And I just cannot, for the life of me, understand what he was trying to do with the cue ball there. Why could he not just screw back there? Unbelievable.
Well, I think Brian will be looking to play a containing shot here, trying to leave Darren nothing. The white could be flying off if he goes for a pot.
Well, he went for the extravagant cut in the corner. Didn't get it.
Red ball's in play.
And Appleton's got an easy safety. I think he'd just bump into this red at the bottom of the table. Slide the cue ball off the bottom rail and in behind.
Darren will be trying to push the 2 reds. He'll be trying to push the far one on the left, just in front of the pocket, to block Brian's yellow. And trying to play a snooker in the same shot.
Well, there you see he's just rolled into the red off the back cushion.
Total snooker.
Total snooker. And that's what awaits Brian Halcrow in his next visit.
Well, you have to feel for Brian. I mean, he is a really nice fella. You couldn't wish to meet a nicer fella. And when everything's going well for you, the breaks go well, you get the little nudges, you get the look. And when you're struggling, just everything seems to go wrong.
Well, Appleton now has a clear shot at a couple of reds. Another take on a very difficult one along the left-hand cushion up into the top corner. If he fancies, he can bridge over the black ball and play the other red top right.
Well, I think he'll be playing the one top right, knocking the white off the top cushion onto the side cushion for his awkward red.
Well, that ball went in clean as a whistle. Well, if he's going to do what you said, Chris, he needed to hit the cue ball a lot harder. He's just going to be screwing the cue ball back, and that's a lovely controlled shot from Appleton.
Well, you can see the confidence is flowing with Darren. Every ball Darren's hitting is hitting the centre of the pocket. He's feeling really good out there. And in his mind, he probably thinks he's already won.
Time out.
Well, again, Appleton wants
Time running.
the rest.
30 seconds.
And Appleton has jawed the red. That's unbelievable. Well, he's 6-1 up, but he doesn't look happy. And this is now a simple chance for Halcrow. If Halcrow doesn't get these 3 yellows and the black, he might as well pack his bags and go home, because there's no way back for him. Unbelievable.
Time out.
Halcrow's just got down to pot the yellow and the red's fallen in of its own accord. Now you're going to see Melvin Harley place the red back over that pocket. And Chris, you know what happens here, don't you?
Well, I'm not too sure, because I think the rules have actually changed in the last few weeks. I think the red goes back up, and I think Brian plays his shot again.
Time running.
Before the rules changed 2 weeks ago, if Brian had got down to the shot like he did and the red drops in, that would have been loss of
20
turn,
seconds.
and Darren would have gone back to the table.
Yes, that's right, Chris. If that had been last year's World Championships, Halcrow would have had to come away from the table. It would have been Appleton. But they changed that rule this year. They just replaced the ball, because it wasn't Halcrow that knocked it in. It was just what they call an act of God.
I think Brian will think he's playing God at the minute.
Well, this long yellow into the corner for Halcrow. In it goes. And Brian wants to be careful, that red's there again to haunt him. Down goes the black, and Halcrow drags one back. But he still trails by 6 frames to 2. And as Appleton breaks off here, frame 9, leading 6-2. He'll be slightly annoyed with himself that he let that last frame go, because he did have a good chance. And
Foul.
he's now gone in off the break, and he's seen bang his cue on the floor. He's
One visit. Open
very
table.
unhappy
Time
with
running.
that indeed.
And that is a sign for Brian. When Darren starts banging his cue, you know he's not feeling good. And if Brian can take this chance, he'll be back in the match.
Well, he got a lot of top spin on the keyboard there off that break, Darren Appleton, and he it sort of swerved into that middle bag. But Halcrow only has the one visit in off the break. You don't
30
get 2,
seconds.
you just get the one go at the table. But Halcrow looking at the red balls. And that one's in.
Red ball's in play.
Now this has got to be a good confidence booster for Brian Halcrow. And as you said, Chris, if he gets this frame, he's right back in the game.
But it's a big difference, Tony, 7-2 or 6-3. We'll see Brian roll through for the red in the centre pocket after this.
Well, just wobbled in. But not only that, Chris, it's for Brian's sake, it's nice to get some table time. Just get the feel of the arena, you know, the atmosphere. And also, the confidence will come up, because then he'll feel that he's actually competing in this semi-final. You know, not just here, just to make up the numbers. And you can see already that Halcrow's confidence is growing.
We'll probably see Brian take the red in the centre pocket here. Screw back 3 or 4 inches. Play the red below the black in the bottom left-hand corner.
Well, no, Brian Halcrow's got a lot of belief in himself, and he managed to get that red to that pocket. You remember earlier, the yellow ball that didn't have enough legs.
Well, I think if I were taking the shot now, Tony, I'd be playing the red below the black. And I think Brian would be if he wasn't 6-2 down.
Well, I think he can play the one in the centre, just run the cue ball through with lots of topspin off the left-hand side rail. Just drop the other side of that yellow that's in the middle. And that's exactly what he's done.
Just wondering if the black will actually go in the right-hand centre pocket.
Well, it obviously does, Chris, because Halcrow's just played exactly for that pocket. And the black ball's in, and Halcrow gets another one back. He trails Appleton by 6 frames to 3. Brian Halcrow just won the last 2 frames. Hauled himself back in with a chance in his semi-final. And he's going to break us off frame 10. Doesn't get right down as cute as punches over the table. He's made a ball off his break. Where's the cue ball going? And I think he's sandwiched himself in the jaws. And he could afford a smile, but he won't like that position.
Well, he can count himself a little bit unfortunate there. He's had a good break, but he didn't control the white. And unfortunately, if he had potted a red off the break, Darren will be in a lot of trouble.
That's right, Chris. He managed to knock a yellow in, so he has to pot a red to be on them. And you see she's trying to contain Darren Appleton. Appleton immediately looking to see if he can get to the red at the bottom left-hand side of the table. He can maybe play a plant down there.
We'll probably see Darren push the white straight back into where it came from here.
Still a choice of colour for Appleton. Reds are the ball that both players want.
30 seconds.
I think he's going for the plant here, Darren.
Well, he can get through. Just through that gap between red and black. And Brian Halcrow will be disappointed he left him that.
Red ball's in play.
And just look at the reds. You've got to feel that there shouldn't be any mistakes here. Everything is wide open for Appleton. And Appleton will want to get these to stop Halcrow's mini comeback.
Darren just working out there what his last ball for the black's going to be.
Well, he's got the cue ball into a nice central position. He's got a choice of whichever red he wants to take. He's going at the top. Going to gradually come down and get rid of the other reds. He's going in the centre with his next one. It's not looking good for Halcrow. Not forgetting it'll be Appleton breaking off in the next frame as well. And Appleton just making doubly sure this time that he finishes off this frame. Made a couple of errors, but pretty much throughout he's been very solid indeed, as Appleton.
Well, I think Darren has only missed once off the break. It's a big difference in matches like this. If you can pot off every break, you're away. But what's Darren played there? That is terrible.
Well, there you see, he might have to swing the cue ball around a little bit here. And there you see him digging down on the right-hand side of the cue ball. And he's missed it. And again,
Yellow balls in
he's
play.
fallen over, and that is incredible. And just look at his face. And his supporters, they can't believe it either. Well, what a chance this is for Halcrow. Well, he's made the plant. He wanted to get on the yellow on the bottom cushion, but he hasn't done that.
I'm just wondering whether the yellow on the bottom cushion will actually pass the black into the corner. If it does, he's okay.
Now you see there is a bit of room there past that black ball. And at least going off it.
30 seconds.
Well, in that case, he only has one bad ball, and he can land on his bad ball straight away.
Well, his next shot now, this yellow, down the rail into the bottom right-hand corner. This is such a big shot.
Well, I don't think Brian's feeling very confident, because a confident Brian Halcrow then would have played off the top cushion with a touch aside and landed a lot better on this yellow.
This could be frame ball, and that's going to be a loser. Look how far he's missed that by. And that is just pressure, pure and simple. And Appleton's been let off as he knocks the black in and bangs the table. He now leaves Halcrow by 7 frames to 3. Darren Appleton breaking off then, frame 11. Just been let off in the last one. And it's a good break from Appleton, but as he made a ball, there's a red coming down at the death, and it's going to stay there.
Open table.
And again, he looks on in disgust. And Appleton's break again. Just tried a different type of break there, Chris, didn't he?
Yeah, Darren tried the cut break there, which a lot of people use in 9-ball pool. Tends to send the ball towards the corner pocket every time. I think he's just struggling a little bit with his break, is Darren, but this isn't an easy clearance. I think we'll see Brian pot the reds, and if he is going to attempt to clear the balls, he'll play the black in the centre pocket off the yellow.
Red balls in play.
Well, Brian Halcrow still hurting inside from the frame before. He's got to try and erase that from his memory. It's very hard. Nothing seems to go your way. And he has had his chances, Halcrow. Took a couple of them. But in a world semi-final, it's not good enough. And again,
Yellow balls in play.
it's a bad miss. He's just not playing anything with any conviction, Chris, is he? He's just pointing the cue and aiming.
Well, I'm not sure whether Brian actually did that on purpose, because he's a good tactical player, is Brian, and he's probably thinking, let Darren have a go, see if he makes another mistake. But I would have thought I'd have been going for them balls if I'd have been on reds.
Well, the only tricky one was the black ball. But he didn't have a lot of other reds he could have used to get on it. Appleton, I think, is going to try and cover this bottom left-hand corner. No, he's gone straight for the jugular, and he didn't want to knock that yellow over to the right.
Well, for me, I don't think that's a good shot, Tony. I think Darren should have been putting the yellow in the centre pocket. That way, the black doesn't go anywhere. We'll probably see Darren try and contain the black here. Push both the yellows near the centre pocket towards the black.
He's taking his time as Appleton. Playing the double across. Again, it's hung there. It's not a bad shot, though. You see there's a couple of reds nearby.
Well, I don't think that's a good shot, Tony. There's no value really in that shot. There we see Brian, he can pot the black off the yellow in the centre pocket. And if he'd looked at that from the start, then he would have gone for the clearance first time.
Well, Brian Halcrow has a chance here. Well, he's not gone game. He's just pushed it on the red over there, right hand side of the table. And by queuing up at that black ball a minute ago, he just let Darren know what his thoughts are for the 8 ball should he get to it. So Appleton surely now is going to move those 2 yellows by that middle.
Well, for me, Darren's got to cover the black up with 2 yellows. I think he's just a little bit worried of leaving Brian the angle, but if Brian didn't go for the game there, then I don't think he'd be going for the game in the next shot.
30 seconds.
Well, he's popped the yellow up in the top right hand corner. I think he was trying to cover that bag.
Well, he's giving himself a chance now, Tony. All 3 yellows near the centre pocket do go in the centre pocket. The only hard ball is the black. And he's got 3 yellows to knock it out with.
Either that or just get behind it and play it length of the table down into this pocket we're looking at now. You feel he's got to go game. Well, he can still pot them. I don't think he want to go up that far.
If the ball is touching, it's probably worked out even better for him. So he can knock the red over towards his yellow if he wanted.
30 seconds.
Well, he's attacking. I'll tell you what he could do is pot the one in the middle, get the cue ball to the top of the table and play the plant down into the bottom left-hand corner, maybe shift the black in that same shot. But he's got to knock him out now, and it's a great shot from Appleton. Well, Appleton almost did a full lap of honour after that shot round the table. And this yellow does go in the centre. Yellow and black going in the same pocket. And this to put Appleton just 2 frames away from a date with Mick Hill in the final this year's World Championship. Down goes the black. And Appleton now leads Halcrow by 8 frames to 3. And there's an interested spectator indeed. Mick Hill, he's already in the final, waiting for the winner of this match. He's just sat up there out the way. It's Halcrow breaking off now, frame 12 of a possible 19. Halcrow's made a ball.
Yellow ball spotted.
But he's got a mountain to climb now. Made a ball off this break, needs this one to start him off.
Well, I think I'd be choosing reds in this situation. They are split a little bit better than the yellows. But again, it's just
30
personal
seconds.
preference for Brian.
Red ball's nominated.
I think Brian will just be looking at damage limitation here. The match is out of his hands really when Darren's got quite a few breaks.
Red ball's in play.
Well, really, he should be taking this finish out. Keep going back to his quarter-final. But he was knocking in these finishes like they weren't there. But it looks a little bit different. when you're on the wrong end of an 8-3 scoreline.
Well, this game isn't about how good you are when you're good. It's about how good you are when you're bad. And that is why Darren and Mick are two of the best players in the world, because their bad game is as good as most people's good game.
Halcrow could have made this a lot easier. Well, Brian Halcrow now just labouring a bit. He's gone for the double with the red and he's missed by a long way. And that's a mad shot.
There's
Yellow
no
ball's in
value
play.
in playing the double there, Tony. If you can pop the red in the top corner pocket, you pop the red in the top corner pocket, screw back the white, play the red he's just doubled in the opposite centre, and he's got game on.
Well, his mind's gone walkies. And Appleton knows it.
I think Darren's got away with that one though. The yellow does pass the red in the left-hand corner pocket.
It's pretty tight, but the cue ball being very close to it makes the pot a bit easier.
30 seconds.
There you see it, just scraping off the jaw, but good enough. Now we're getting towards the finishing line for Appleton, and the nails will be starting to jangle a little bit now.
Nice position there by Darren. Give himself a few options. If he run too far, he's on the yellow in the left-hand corner. If he ran short, he's on the yellow in the right-hand corner. So what this game's all about is giving yourself the best opportunity, playing for 2 or 3 balls. If you run out of position on one, you're on the other one.
Perfect angle now for Appleton. Going to play the yellow just above the black ball into this bottom right-hand corner, dragging the cue ball up towards the top for his last yellow. And he'll want to come down the table and play the black ball into the pocket. He's just about to pot this next yellow. So he wants to get up the top of the table and leave himself an angle to come back down. Now, is he straight?
Well, it's such a bad shot if he's landed straight there, Tony. He can land high or low. But he has got a lot of cue power as Darren. You'll probably see him screw the white back off the side cushion with lots of right-hand side and black in the right-hand corner pocket.
He's overhit it. Now, is the cue ball going behind the red? I think it is. Oh, my word.
Total snooker.
Well, to be fair, Tony, he deserves to land there, because he's played such a bad shot to get on the yellow, and then to play the white with loads of screw and right hand side and land behind there. You could play that shot 1,000 times and never land there.
Well, he did extremely overhit that. I'll just look at the result there, but I think Halcrow can get through to the red at the top. Well, Appleton there. Just let this frame slip. He had it at his mercy. And what's Halcrow done? That is unbelievable. Nerves are gone completely. The mind's gone. And his arms fell off completely.
Well, there is only one shot for Darren here. Double bottom left-hand corner.
Well, we've only seen one length to the table double in this tournament so far, and that was from Jason Twist. And that was in the first semi-final against Mick Hill. He's played
It's
it very
close.
slowly. Oh, and it didn't stay over the pocket, and Halcrow again has another chance. You can't quite believe it, Appleton. Well, Halcrow coughing and spluttering over the line.
Well, for me, it doesn't matter how much pressure is on this clearance, he cannot miss these.
Well, he wanted to be on the red that the cue ball's nearest to, but he's going to have to come down now for the red next to the black. See it goes. He's got plenty of table to land in. He's got needed the whole arena to land in. And he's played it to perfection. And Halcrow's going to pinch one back. Appleton's going to have to wait. And now there's simple Blackpool in the corner. And that's Halcrow's family praying that he pots this ball. I think he will. Down goes the black, and Halcrow nicks another frame. He still trails Appleton though by 8 frames to 4. Frame 13. Best of 19 race to 10.
13th frame. Darren Appleton to break.
Appleton
leading
requires
8 frames to
2 frames for a place in the final. He just lobbed the last one at Halcrow. A big break from Appleton, but no ball. And you just
Open
feel, Chris,
table.
if Halcrow could just nick a couple of frames here, that we could have a right match in our hands.
Well, if Brian had won 2 frames what he's actually thrown away, we'd be looking at a 6-all scoreline here. And that's the difference.
Well, ever since Appleton sort of changed his break style, he's not been very successful. And that red has missed. Halcrow has made
table.
another error.
Seconds.
Red ball's in play.
Well, Appleton's not happy there. He's potted that red. As you can see, he's just knocked a red right behind the black ball, near the right-hand centre. And that's going to have to be shifted. He's going to have to be careful if he goes careering into it, because he'll also cannon the black towards the middle bag.
Well, I don't understand the shot he's played there, Tony, because he didn't even have to move the red. The red went in the bottom right-hand corner pocket, and on this table, if you play the balls down the cushion at a nice weight, they will drop.
30 seconds.
Well, quickly Appleton moving to release his other problem ball. So now he's just got the one
Yellow
that's in
ball's
trouble.
play.
Well, he's going to be in a snooker after this. Brian will roll up to the 2 yellows on the side cushion, bringing them both into play and leaving him behind the top yellow.
Total snooker.
And Appleton making no attempt to come out of it, just going to leave
Foul.
Halcrow in his own mess.
2 visits.
Well, that's the only thing I disagree about these rules. Brian's played a great shot there, got him in a good snooker, Darren's made the mistake, and he's gained no advantage by it. He's given him 2 shots, but he can't do anything.
Foul.
And just look what Halcrow's done. He's been very unlucky
2
indeed.
visits.
Trying to bash the yellow out into the middle of the table, and he's gone in off it. And just see, it's just checked back off that yellow.
Well, Darren's going to bring the black and red into play in this shot. Great shot there. And this frame's all over.
Well, we've said that before. And Appleton's made recently a couple of errors, especially getting to the black ball.
Well, Darren will be disappointed in the way he's performed in the last few frames. He knows Mick Hill's watching, and he'll be wanting to put in a good performance, and Mick, at this moment in time, will be happy the way the mistakes are coming.
Well, Mick Hill quite happy to see his opponents making so many mistakes. And you can see the cue ball touching that yellow there. Once again, you said the frame was going to be over, and there's still a lot of work to be done here for Appleton. He just took his foot off the accelerator.
Where's the white?
Second visit.
Well, he's landed on the one at the top cushion. He just taps the table in disgust. He knows he's had another frame at his mercy.
Well, if Darren does get to the final and he plays the way he's playing at the moment, Mick will absolutely destroy him. Because in my opinion, Mick is the greatest pool player I've ever seen. And the only way you can beat him is not to miss, and Darren is missing at the moment.
30 seconds.
That's a bold statement you made there, Chris. I have to agree that Hill seems to be playing the best pool out of anybody. It's also nice to watch the other two battling away and at their nerves' ends when you're comfortably sat in the final as well. But the final's another day.
I think he'll be looking to play the plant here. He's just got to be careful when he plays the plant that the red doesn't go safe. Great shot there. Absolutely perfect.
Well, Appleton's done well there to dig himself out the mire. Well, he's just going to drop this in now and try and get on the black in the centre. Has he got the cue ball up far enough? I think he has. Judging by the way he's down quickly, the black's in, and Appleton now is just within one frame of a place in the final. He now leads Halcrow 9 frames to 4. Frame 14, Halcrow to break. Needs a ball off this. It doesn't look promising. And now Appleton has the balls at his mercy if he gets his first pot. The reds look very nice indeed. If he can put that long one into the top right hand corner, get the cue ball up to the top of the table, it's over.
Well, if he pots the red, it's definitely all over. The confidence will be flowing, he'll be thinking about the final. And to be fair, he does deserve to win.
Oh, what a great shot, but just look where he's bumped the second red. Might play a safety here, might just knock the bottom one out into the open and screw the cue ball back behind the red.
We could see Darren actually take the red into the centre pocket. The two reds that are together at the top, one of them will actually go in the right-hand centre. And with Darren's confidence, it wouldn't surprise me if he did play that.
Well, he's elected for the safety.
Yellow ball's in play.
Suggested. I think it's the more sensible shot. He knows that he's left Halcrow nothing. Halcrow now not only has to come out of this, but he has to pot.
Well, I think he can cut the yellow down the cushion. He's looking to cut the yellow on the left-hand side cushion, down onto the red, into the centre pocket.
Boy, he's played that very well. He played it into the cushion first. Well, he's got a clear shot. A couple of the yellows now.
Well, that's why I thought Darren might attempt the red. He didn't get the white directly behind the red for the snooker, and he's given Brian a chance now. And for me, if you get yourself in a situation where you're one frame away from winning the match, you've got a very comfortable lead. If you get half a chance, go for it, take it, because that chance might not present itself again.
30 seconds.
Well, he's potted a yellow. He's potted 2 yellows, in fact. But just look, the right-hand side of the table, a yellow has stuck to a red, and I don't think it goes in the centre.
Well, he's played a funny shot. I'm surprised he's cut the yellow into the centre bag. I'd have been taking the long yellow into the right-hand corner pocket. Try not to kiss into other balls. Because when you start kissing into balls when you've no reason to, that's when things can go wrong.
30 seconds.
He's playing a long yellow up the line. And this is really low percentage stuff. Well, he's took a little glance off the red. But I don't think he's covered that bag, and Appleton now has a chance again.
Well, he won't get a better opportunity than this to get himself into his first world final.
And Appleton now, once again, has the finishing line in sight. Just needs to knock these reds in the black, and he'll be joining his good friend Mick Hill in this year's 888.com World Pool Final.
Darren's taking quite a bit of time over this. Must be worried about running out of position.
Well, he just wants to be so sure, Chris. Like I said, he can sense victory. He doesn't want to make any silly errors.
We'll see Darren pop the red in the centre bag here, run the white through. Well, I don't understand that shot what he's played there. If he runs the white through to the side cushion, he can pop both the top reds in the top right hand corner pocket. Red in the centre, black in the corner. He could be in a problem here because now he's got to get perfect position.
Well, he's taking out his ball. He needs to get on the red on the top rail. If he gets on that, it's all over. And now this is a great opportunity, but this looks a bit thin.
Well, I don't know if you remember, Tony, but when Darren played Quinton in the quarter-final, the last frame he looked very nervous, and he actually said after he twitched the black what he took on.
Well, he's got the red. He's just going to run this red in now. The heart must be pumping at 100 miles an hour. He has this black for a place in the world final. Appleton down on it. It's there, and Darren Appleton has joined his friend Mick Hill in the final, defeating again Brian Halcrow by 10 frames to 4.
A delighted Darren Appleton booking his place in the final with a great win over Brian Halcrow. A great win, but was it a great performance?
It was a job well done to a certain degree. I mean, there was pressure on Darren going into that match. He was expected to win. He was a favourite. And Darren's in the final, so he'll be pleased.
Let's say a few words about Halcrow. A great performance, a great tournament, but it didn't happen for him today, did it?
No, he was the underdog, and he tried, but Darren was just too strong overall. But Brian will be pleased to get to the semi-final.
You mentioned Darren through to the final where he'll now play Mick Hill, but let's just confirm those results. Mick Hill will absolutely demolish the two-time world champion Jason Twist 10-3, and then we've just seen Darren Appleton coming through 10-4 over Brian Halcrow. Two great friends off the table, two fierce rivals on it. Darren Appleton will take on Mick Hill in the final of the 888.com World Pool Championships. It promises to be a classic. Who's your money on?
I slightly favour Mick because, like they said in Coventry, Darren didn't hit full power, but, you know, the final, he'll raise his game. Slightly favour Mick, but wouldn't surprise me if Darren won it.
Looking forward to it?
Yeah, it should be a cracker.
All right, thanks for joining us, Lee. It should be an absolutely superb match. That's next time. Until then, from all of us here at the 888.com World Pool Championships, goodbye.